What is up, guys? Luke and Andrew here, and we are going to give you the ECCC rundown. That might have been too many C's, but we're going to get started right here. Let's get to it. Let's get right into it. First off, Thor and Korath from...
Korath he originated in Guardians of the Galaxy. That was the first MCU movie he was put in. Now he's going to be in the new Captain Marvel movie, that being a prequel. Spoilers, he died in Guardians of the Galaxy, but he's supposedly supposed to have a bigger role in Captain Marvel because it deals with the Kree Skull War, and he's part of the Kree Empire.
Listen, you got more info than me on that. But that's cool. I think Thor looks really cool. It's the
original model Thor.
Yes, and it looks awesome. It's nice to see that that's there. And as always, you're gonna see it a lot more. Love the green theme of ECCC. They always do this every single year. It's always awesome, and they definitely show it this time too.
Right, I like that. Other than other Comic-Cons, which just seem kind of like, oh, here's a bunch of rando stuff. ECC usually has that green theme, or like what I guess like an Irish kind of like emerald.
Yeah, they kind of keep it within. If it's green, it'll have that kind of idea. And speaking of Irish, I mean there's the Harry Potter 3-pack, which has all of them dressed up as pretty much leprechauns, and they have their buckles and
well, I guess let me give the background here a little bit. This is Ginny, Fred, and George, obviously the main other three Weasleys, but this is from Goblet of Fire when they're going to see the Quidditch finals. So it's the Irish against the Bulgarians. So all the Weasleys except Ron are rooting for the Irish. He's rooting for Bulgaria because he loves Victor Crumb.
Ah, well, thank you for that. For a little information coming from Andrew. There you go. Dropping some knowledge on you. They look great, and I really think that this ECC, they really did a great job on this, and especially with a lot of the ones that they showed that kind of you didn't expect, and ones that you didn't even think that they would do again either.
Right, because they do have come out with a lot of Harry Potter ones, but Fred, George, Ginny, seem like they haven't gotten a lot, and this is like a unique outfit for them.
Yeah,
which is like what you want to see out of the exclusive.
And I think it's really awesome that they're doing this. Next up on the list, they have Sombra, obviously from Overwatch. Definitely gonna get it. She's in her what is the do you remember what the outfit's called?
No, I'm not sure the exact name of the outfit. I don't really play Sombra, so I don't even.
I mean, still, I love that. I love that they still have the outfit. They put it in, and that was part of the games line they came out with.
Right. This is a variant of, because they had the translucent one where she's like doing the hack. Mm-hmm. This one, it's like the same pose except she's in the lime green color.
And it looks awesome.
And then the other video game line that they came out with was from Gears of War, the General Ram one.
Super excited for that.
Awesome.
Awesome. He has his hand point at you, has his sword he's gonna kill Kim with, poor guy.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the moment where it is, him like, I'm gonna
pretty much murder him. Sorry,
yeah, shank you.
If you haven't played Gears of War, General Ram is pretty much the main enemy in the first Gears of War. He happens to kill one of the characters, and in the scene he points to him and walks through a battle and just stabs the guy. So it's pretty crazy. Awesome pose, looks great. I saw Xbox posted an image that looked really cool, so got us really excited for that.
Yeah, definitely. The next one I felt like they did huge line, Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
this is one I don't know background of, so you'll have to fill us in.
So they have Arya Stark here with Needle, which is her sword. Pretty cool that they have this, and you can tell that she's obviously older in this one than the previous one they had of her, and it's nice to have this. Of course, Game of Thrones, such a huge line. We haven't seen as many as of recent, but this is definitely one that's great for ECCC to come out.
Yeah, I feel like recently with the Game of Thrones ones, they have kind of just been, I don't know if rehashes is the word, but it's like the latest line is just 4 different characters on the Iron Throne. I feel like very uncreative.
Yeah,
my opinion. But...
Well, I mean, I think that this alone is better than putting them just on Iron Throne.
Right. I think also because Game of Thrones is so huge, and Funko's done a better job recently of trying not to spoil things, so maybe they can't come out with specific pops for Game of Thrones, say for this coming season, because it's like, oh well, we
It's
don't
gonna
want to.
spoil everything.
Right.
Yeah, that definitely could be it. Next up on the list is the DC wave, and it's pretty cool. They actually have some characters that we haven't seen. They have the 5-star line of Batman, which we don't really care for. Mr. Mixel which is very weird name. To stop the guy, he's a trickster. To stop him, you have to get him to say his name backwards. That's from Superman, and then they had Black Canary, which is pretty cool. And that's I don't think there was one before. It was the 2-pack last year ECC with the Green Arrow.
Except that was the
The
Dorb.
Dorbs. Yeah. That was the last time we saw Black Canary.
I guess people were a little disappointed by the DC line because they were expecting another Batman.
They were hoping for another
they already
Batman.
did a chrome green Batman, so I mean, I felt like this wasn't the Comic Con to do another Batman because it's like, oh,
You already
like
did
we
it.
said, the
You
green
already
theme.
did it. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I think they look cool. Not really big.
I'm
Fans
not
on
I'm not
those
a big DC fan, and it is more minor characters in the 5-star one. Like we said, we don't really collect, so we're gonna skip that one. But there was a lot more good stuff. Like the anime line, I thought was really cool.
Yeah. If so for this, if you watch Fairy Tail, Dragon Ball Z, you're gonna be really happy with these. They have Gajeel with his dragon scale skin. He's actually metallic, looks awesome. And they have Parengu from Dragon Ball Z. If you don't know, he's another dragon similar to Shenron, and he's also in the series. Pretty cool because of how he looks. I think they did a great job with both these pops. Haven't seen. I feel like we haven't seen a metallic pop in a while. So that's awesome for that.
And the DBZ one, I believe, is the only 6-inch that they have.
Yes, that it is. It's the only 6-inch for this year, which is pretty cool. Hopefully, you can get your hands on that. I know we're trying to.
Right. One that we did forget about for DC, they did the Starfire Rock Candy. That one's limited.
I think that's the
3,000, I believe.
There's that, and there's only 2 or 3 others that are limited. It kind of makes sense because I feel like rock candies aren't as popular, so to make it 3,000 is smart for them if they want to get people to buy it. I still don't think it'll sell out, but that's just my thought because of
Right.
rock candies.
And I'm not sure what the Starfire I mostly know from Teen Titans, so it doesn't look like that. I don't really read the Starfire comics, so maybe they were going for that look, but if it's not the Teen Titans look, I don't really,
Yeah,
care.
that's true. I'm like I said, rock candy. It kind of lose my interest the second I see that. Next up, they have Carmen Sandiego. They actually just released this pop. I guess within the past year, not 2019, but within I think maybe 6 months ago. Now they have this diamond exclusive version coming out at ECCC. I think it's cool that they're bringing these pops that are older. I think it was cooler when it originally came out, but they look like they're kind of starting to push this diamond series onto other pops outside of Disney, which I only thought it was a Disney thing.
I mean, I guess the diamond pops make sense for certain things because they are like glittery or glowy kind of stuff, but this one kind of escapes me why they were like, oh, well,
Yeah.
we're just gonna make her diamond.
Yeah, I don't know, but they did that.
Not that I'm a huge I used to watch Where in the World's Carmen Sandiego, I guess back in the day, but this I don't understand the reference.
Yeah. Next up, they had the ad icons, which we actually saw a leak a long time ago of the Pillsbury Doughboy with the charm cookie. It's the 3-leaf clover on the cookie. Someone leaked it a while ago and was like, "Oh, this guy's an idiot because Pillsbury Doughboy that came out didn't have it." And now look at this. This picture came out and they have the Pillsbury Doughboy with the cookie and the
Yeah, people weren't sure if it was like a faked picture or there's supposed to be a chase version or there was a lot of speculation going around. Now we finally get some closure on that. This one's going to be a Funko Shop exclusive. I'm surprised it's not limited, but I mean they know it's going to sell out regardless.
Yeah, they don't have anything to worry about. It's going to sell.
And then the other ad icon figure was I feel like you could see it coming a mile away.
Andrew called it. He 100% called it. He called it when the Sour Patch came out and when you're talking about what you're expecting to see at ECCC.
Right. So they came out with the lime green Sour Patch Kid. Lime green was one of the original flavors, so people were kind of up in arms that it wasn't part of the actual wave. Now they're giving it to you for ECCC, 1,000 pieces.
Only at the con. Good luck
Right.
getting that. It's gonna be very hard to get. Next up, they had the Disney wave, which came with a couple different things. I was talking to Andrew about this Void from Incredibles 2. Kind of a minor character, but a cool looking pop.
Right. So in Incredibles 2, if you haven't seen it, there's this organization that talks to the Pars, the main family of the movie, and they're trying to get the superheroes back into the public consciousness. So they thought they were the only superheroes, but then they're like, oh, we found these other superheroes that have come out of hiding and now they're not afraid to reveal their powers because you're an inspiration to them. So Void was one of them, and she can make what's it called, like portals, so that you could like teleport and like
Maybe voids.
yeah, I guess.
Voids in the ether. Yeah, pretty cool, and it's a good looking pop.
Right, I'm wondering how that, because there's like this ring around her, so I wonder how that's gonna hold, or is it like already attached to her?
Is it gonna be attached to her, or is it gonna be like a stand
right
that she's like connected to, like at the feet or something like that?
Yeah, I'm a little intrigued to see it.
Next up, they had the Lion King 3-pack of the hyenas, and it's Shenzi, Bonsai, Shenzi, and Ed.
I think these ones are cool because I feel like the hyenas are as iconic as anybody in that movie, obviously.
And I feel like they're a big deal because they're kind of like Ed's obviously an idiot and he's funny, and then
the hyenas, they're all definitely comic relief characters, but I mean they made their mark in that movie.
Exactly.
And,
I think it's a good idea to have this 3-pack.
Right, and then the last thing for the Disney line was they came out with the DuckTales action figures, Huey, Dewey, Louie.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to come out with all three at once. Don't really care for the action figures, so I won't even be really looking at that.
Yeah, don't sweat that.
A thing that they've continued to do, and they've done it for the past few Comic-Cons, they have a cereal, and this one is the Green Ranger.
From the Power Rangers.
From the actual Power Rangers, and it's obviously fitting because it's for ECCC, so it's green, so it works out.
Yeah, I mean, I love me some Tommy Oliver, but the cereal, I hear it doesn't taste good. I haven't actually tried it myself, but I think it's like $15, so it is expensive cereal, and especially because it's gonna be at the con, so it could be $20.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
I think it's a hard pass.
Next up, you had Shirtless Jaguar from Rick and Morty. I expected a Rick and Morty line. They have again another minor characters in the show, and they have a pop for him. So what do you expect? If you're gonna try to finish the set, here you go. Gotta get another one.
So was he in it like 3 seconds also, like our boy Combropoulos?
Combropoulos, Michael. He was in it instead of 3 seconds. He was in it for 5 seconds.
Okay.
He was actually one of the main characters for an episode.
Okay, so at least he had an episode.
Yeah, or maybe half the episode.
Funko loves doing as like their own kind of exclusive thing. They do Scott Pilgrim all the time. Seems like every con. This one they decided to add to their Pez line. It's a 3-pack. Who is it? It's Knives, Chow, Ramona, and Scott.
Yeah, and I mean, it's cool that they're starting to push Pez. That is an interesting thing about they always do Scott Pilgrim. I don't know why, or if it's not one con, they do it at the next con. They're maybe they take one off when maybe it's there, but they always have stuff, and I wonder why that is. It's one of the few lines that you actually see all the time, even though they don't get that many pops or don't get that many items for it.
Scott Pilgrim, has like a cult following. It is very like geeky, nerdy thing, and it seems like everyone at Funko is kind of like geeky, nerdy, pop culture-y kind of people. So, it fits the type of people they're marketing to. And then they also had the pop Ramona.
Yeah, Ramona with a mallet. Again, there was another pop already for Ramona.
A couple, I believe.
Yeah, and if you're trying to get that, there was one with. There was her alone, then there was her with
Gideon.
Yeah,
right?
So you have a couple of them. Here's just another one for you. I wonder what else they could really do to special. I guess to show these people the people with their powers. I mean, that's the only other thing I can think of.
I mean, I feel like they've come out with most of the main characters. I'm not sure if they've done all the X's.
I don't think they have done all the X's, so I'm wondering maybe they're holding off because once they do that, maybe the line goes under, or maybe they're not thinking about that. But we'll see. We'll have to see. Next convention they'll probably have one. Next up is the Office Space 2-pack. Michael Bolton and Samir. Super, super, super famous scene in the movie. The fax machine screwed them so much. Sorry to spoil it for you. The movie's over 20 years old now. They ended up screwing the company out of a couple pennies, but a couple pennies for thousands of transactions turns into millions of transactions. They got a ton of money. They don't give a shit about the fax machine anymore, and they go and crush it in the park. They go and beat it with a bat, and they stomp on it, and they go pretty crazy on this fax machine because they were planning to quit their jobs. So
That's interesting. I've never seen Office Space.
Yeah, it's a good movie. But yeah, that's one of the most famous scenes of the movie.
I do like that it actually comes with a fax machine.
Yeah.
I do always like to see more props with the pops.
And I was looking at something, maybe it was Toy Fair, but it looks like they're starting to try and push props into this, into their whole line, their pop line and other lines. And I think that's pretty cool. I'm glad that they're doing that.
They had a couple more movie things. They had the vinyls, the Cowardly Lion, and the Tin Man 2-pack.
Yeah, but
so
they look cool, but again...
Yeah, don't collect vinyls. I guess it's only a matter of time before we see, Dorothy and the Scarecrow.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, or did that come out already? I'm not...
I'm not up on my vinyls, and I'm not up on my Wizard of Oz, so...
Yeah. So then...
it's missing me all over the place.
They also had Steve from Life Aquatic. You were saying that has like a cult following, People...
Yeah, Life Aquatic bombed in the theaters, but it had a lot of great actors in it.
Yeah.
Like Kate Blanchett, it was Bill Murray, Owen Wilson, a lot of famous people, but bombed at the box office. Now has a cult following, and this is another one like Scott Pilgrim. Funko loves pushing the Life Aquatic now.
Yeah. And last year's they had Life Aquatic, but it was a vinyl 2-pack. It was Steve and I can't remember. It was like a younger version of him. Literally looked the same, just with brown hair instead of gray. So Bill Murray's younger self, maybe.
Yeah, we didn't see the movie, so also misses us. But people saw the vinyl pack, wondering when the pops come out. So here you go. You got it.
Yep, just have to wait a year.
Then the last movie pop that they came out with was one we were excited for. We love Lord of the Rings, so this is one of the Orc captains, specifically the scene in the Two Towers, when they, they've already captured Merry and Pippin. They're trying to bring him to Saruman. So this is what, Grishnak?
Yeah, Grishnak.
The orc.
And they're really hungry, and they can't eat, and they're trying to find food. And then
all they've had is Magni bread for 3 stinking days.
And then Grishnak starts talking about their legs and how fresh they're looking, and then
tries to eat them.
Talks about how meat is back. Then they get into a fight with the Urukai and talks about how meat is back on the menu, but I don't know what character in Lord of the Rings have been and seen a menu.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. Great pop, super excited about it. Looks great, and actually I think looks awesome. One of their best Lord of the Rings pops.
Right. I feel like though this is a dangerous rabbit hole if you are Lord of the Rings fans. This is the first very minor character that they've done. Makes you wonder what now.
You could see other characters.
It opens the door for more minor characters, or if you want to do one of the Wolves of Isengard as a pop, you could do that, or so many enemies, or if you want to do an Elephant or some crazy stuff,
or you could even go
10-inch.
Yeah, and characters that you even just see in passing could definitely pop up.
Yeah, there could be 3 or 4 Peter Jacksons.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Then Funko has they've started to do this, and they do it typically every Comic-Con, and it has to do with their accessory items, and they announced the Big Lebowski skateboard deck. It's also shirt exclusive at FYE. Interesting that they're doing that. They're starting to kind of reach their hands across other
media,
and that's something that they're pushing. Again,
this is their 3rd or 4th skateboard deck they've done. What was New York? They had the Golden Girls one, I believe.
Yes,
right?
They did. So they're just kind of it seems like they're kind of just taking something that's also has like a cult following, and just putting it on there, and it's cool. It is cool if you. It's easy to put up on a wall and set up. I don't know if I'd really skateboard on it. But then again,
Well, that's the thing. It's, I feel like skateboarding was a lot bigger like 10, 20 years ago. Like, I don't really talk to anyone who skateboards now, but even
maybe
like
because we're old farts.
it could be, but even back when I was young, a young whippersnapper, I didn't know many people who were building their own skateboards anyway.
That's
So
true.
it
That's
does
true.
seem like it is only something that you would mount on a wall.
Yeah, but again, they're doing that, and that's one of the things that they keep doing. And here we go, another one.
And then their final announcements were their own Funko lines. They added two Freddies and one of their spastic plastics, another Finduchamp.
Yeah, they look cool. I think that this Finduchamp definitely looks better than the original one, the gray one. The
Right,
blue
I
kinda
like
pops
the
a little
blue
more.
pop. Yeah,
It looks like blue, like the Pulpo blue from last ECCC.
right.
It's that same color. And then the Freddies, the one with the
The gold crown is limited.
yes, and then they have the silver crown, which is not limited.
Funko
And they're
Shop
pretty
only,
much
though.
they're keeping it within the area. And Seattle is known for fishing, and so they're out here with like a bass. Maybe it's a catfish, but
It's
yeah,
not a
add a
catfish.
fish.
Might be a
Uh,
tuna or something.
Could be something, but it's some type of fish. So they have that.
I'm glad they brought back the Freddy and their own line, because in New York they didn't have any of their own stuff.
Yeah, no, they I don't. To me, it doesn't make sense that they don't ever. Like, I would constantly put a Freddy at every single convention. Doesn't matter what it is.
Or just their own IPs, just because it's, your own property, so you don't have to pay out to get licensing stuff. Oh, if we push this, it's kind of like gravy.
Yeah. And I just think, and I also think, because like the Freddy's, they're such a good idea that you just take a character and you have the same color scheme and everything, and you just put Freddy's face on it, and it's gonna sell because it's a great idea. But ECC is awesome. Andrew, what do you think about this ECC compared to, let's say, the past couple Comic Cons, San Diego and New York?
I feel like this Comic-Con has a lot of stuff I'm excited for. Not that I wasn't excited for San Diego or New York. There was a lot of stuff I wanted there, but I feel like mostly everything was a hit here. Or it was something that I could understand why you would make this and why people would want it.
Yeah, I think it was awesome. I definitely want to say that this, to me, just in the past maybe month, ECC, New York Toy Fair, and London Toy Fair. New York Toy Fair had the most, obviously. London Toy Fair, I think, was better. London Toy Fair had more than ECC. I think that ECC had better items than London Toy Fair. And if not, it's very close to it.
Well, I think with New York Toy Fair, it just had so much stuff, but it wasn't a lot of stuff we were interested in. We talked about it in, I think, both videos. But London had just a lot more video game stuff, a lot more movies we were interested in. This, has a good smattering of everything.
And I think they all look great.
And they all look good. And it's like, they have the ad icons. They have some good Disney stuff that we haven't seen. Harry Potter, we those variants we haven't seen. They haven't done an original Thor, I believe, ever. Two cool video game characters we want. The animes were stuff we wanted. So it's all like a lot of really good stuff.
There's very few things that we don't want. So I think that's great. Excited for this. Get ready for your shared exclusives. We will be posting, of course, an image to show you where you can get your items. They're always floating around online. We will make sure that we post that on our Instagram, on our story, to let you know. And then also,
special announcement, guys. This year, I will actually be going to ECCC. Super excited to be going to Seattle. First time on the West Coast for me. But, I didn't win the Funko Shop lottery, of course, again. But luckily, this year, Funko announced specific time that they're going to open it to the public. 3 o'clock, if you didn't know that. So, hopefully they have a lot of good stuff still left. I'm not expecting them to have the limited stuff, but, if I could get my hands on some of that video game stuff and some of that DBZ action, I'd be very happy. But, if you see me out there, I'd love to be able to talk to you guys, share stories, swap pops, swap some spit maybe.
Oh dear God! Don't listen to what he's saying. He'll be out there. He'll be walking around looking for you guys. You'll be able to tell.
Right.
And he's gonna be hanging out around the Funko shop and then if he's actually going to be going to the headquarters too, so maybe you guys can see him there too. Super excited. I'm sadly I will not be able to go.
Yeah, he's got some 9 to 5 responsibilities.
Yeah, sadly. But that's going to do it for us, guys. We are excited to hear what you want to see, what you're trying to get at Comic-Con. Let us know down below. And as always,
Happy hunt.